reconnect over there.
We're good, man. We're going.
All right.
What's going on?
Hey, what up? What up? Hey, YouTube world. You know what it is? This your boy downtown, Jeremy Brown. Got my girl Sheila here. We're chilling with Kyle Forrester. Thanks a lot, man, for having us come in tonight.
Absolutely, buddy. Good to see you. Been a long time.
Yep.
Well, a couple of days, but before that, it was a long time.
Yeah, it was. So the funny thing is, we met throughout the fighting, and now we come back and it's actual fight night.
Right.
So that's kind of
Watching
cool.
some UFC fights.
Ooh, can I use one of these?
Yeah,
'Cause
absolutely.
I don't want to put it all on this one.
Good idea.
Whatever at the table is at your disposal. You help yourself.
All
'Cause
right.
This is kind of. I'll try it.
We got the hookup here.
What
What is this called? This is Pink Whitney. So
we were talking about that Chucky doll a minute before we started.
Oh yeah.
And I was saying how it kind of scares the shit out of my kids. Well, you guys are old enough to remember. Do you remember the My Buddy dolls?
yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Those they were what happened before they was like the idea for Chucky. Well, I had one when I was a kid, and it used to scare the shit out of me. So I put it inside of my closet in my toy box. And every night before I would go to bed, I would run out here and throw it in the garage. And every morning I would wake up and it'd be back in my fucking toy box. And for years I couldn't figure out like what the hell, like what the deal was with it. We were over here having dinner with my grandparents one night, and we brought it up, and my grandma's like, yeah, I don't know. I kept finding it in the garage, and I kept putting it back in your room every night. So she, just generational terror for like 20 years, and she had no idea.
Wow. Well, you know, I had one too. My grandma picked it up at the Goodwill and brought it home. And when I got old enough and moved out, I actually took it with me. And then when we had Kenzie, it was buried. And one day I pulled it out, and same thing with her. She was terrified, and we'd occasionally torment her with it. I guess you could call me a mean dad or whatever. But
Oh no, that Chucky doll 6 months from now is going to be in one of my kids' beds when they wake up.
Oh, that's creepy.
Like, I'm for sure gonna scare the shit out of it.
It would be kind of weird if it really got up and walked around and started.
They swear their eyes move on it. Like, they'll be out there and they'll be like, "Did you move it?" And I'm like, "No." I feel like it's looking at me.
Does it have like you can put batteries in it and it will talk?
I don't think so. I think it's just the doll, but I don't want to screw up the packaging to open it because it's in the original Good Guy box.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I got it at one of those pop-up Halloween shops.
Mm-hmm.
It was the last one. I was like, I put it down and I was like, no, I gotta get it. I was like, I have to have that one.
That's a
I'm
staple.
I'm real big on like Halloween anyway.
Yeah.
So like if you come by like near Halloween, this whole room is decked out, nothing but Halloween stuff. And I'll open up the garage door and actually have like a little set, and then kids walk up to the table right here and grab candy and stuff. So like I do the whole.
Oh, you open the garage door then?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then so this is my area. Like I'll put a table like right there, and then I'll just kind of hang out and drink and do my thing.
Yeah.
And just hand out candy and just have a good time. Like Halloween's my all-time favorite holiday. Like Christmas be damned. Like.
Yeah, we like Halloween too. We do a lot. We did a lot this last Halloween, didn't we? We went out and got special outfits, and we even went to the graveyard and we shot a little video in there. It was kind of fun. So I like Halloween as well.
Yeah, but my son Braxton, he was crying the whole time in the graveyard. He wanted to go. I'm like, nobody's here.
Which one do you go to?
The one in Bristol, yeah.
Have you been to the one in South Bend, the Primrose one, the Adam Street Cemetery?
No.
That one's pretty creepy. It's just old.
Really?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of video that I shot there where like you roll up and it's just like this old like rough iron gate. Like it looks pretty cool. But that's the one where it was supposed to be like a haunted road in South Bend, but they've since paved it and kind of got rid of that. But I enjoy going through like random spots like that. Like you've been up to what's supposedly Al Capone's house up to Purgatory and all that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that whole
I
like
live right
area,
by there.
That whole area right there is pretty cool.
Yeah.
We used to run around there. I don't know how nobody shot us as kids because we had to be wandering through people's yards.
It's dark as hell back there too. So like if you go at nighttime, you're guaranteed to be pitch black and you can't see the hand in front of your face.
Right.
And then you hear all the spooky sounds from the woods. All right. This is my favorite, Hypnotic. So
Give it a smell. See if I'm accurate with that. Let Sheila smell it. The smell's off, man.
It's got like a blue raspberry smell, but
It's got
I
like
can.
a blue. It's got like a blue cat pea smell.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe it.
That's
I
as
never
close
really
to cat
smelled
pee
it.
as you're gonna get
Cat
with a delicious
piss.
drink.
It doesn't smell like cat.
I wouldn't even, like I said, I wasn't aware that they still made those.
Yum. So good.
Do you want this?
Yeah.
With that, see how it tastes. Might taste better.
I like it straight too.
Yeah, this is a cute bottle though.
This might be like the third time I've got a bottle of this size. So who else likes Hypnotic? I absolutely love Hypnotic. And what was the other one called? The pink one that was the competitor to this. I can't.
I don't
think.
remember, but wasn't that the one that had all the shiny shit in it? Like you could swirl the bottle and see all like the.
Oh, you're talking
Oh.
about Goldschlager.
No, it wasn't Goldschlager. It was like Hypnotic, but it was red, and you could swirl it, and it had like glitter in it.
Really?
Yeah,
You
I
could
don't
drink
remember it.
yeah. We used to. As
Red
kids,
and glitter, that
Yeah.
just goes together, man.
right.
Gotta look
But as
cool.
kids, I think we used to ingest a lot of stuff that we probably shouldn't. Like, I'm pretty sure I ate plastic out of the aftershock thing like more than once.
Oh yeah.
They say it's rock candy. Some people say it's plastic. I'm not sure.
Oh.
I remember the rock candy at the bottom, and
Well,
if
see,
that
but
was plastic, then that's.
But the problem is you've already drank a whole bottle of alcohol before you get to the plastic. So how the hell do you know if it's plastic or rock candy?
True.
You're just along for the ride at that point, right?
Here, just give it to me. Goddamn,
Oh,
it
yeah.
tastes good. It's candy.
That's
You got
weird.
cinnamon flavored plastic chunks.
Oh, let's go with some more because that red drink from Taco Bell was.
Yeah, that one was questionable. And then Goldschlager, we used to drink that too. I don't know why. I think we thought it was cool because it had the little gold chunks in it. It didn't taste good. Like mint.
Yeah, it was definitely had some mystique to it, as a kid.
Yeah.
Everybody thought it was cool just because of the gold slog or the gold flakes.
Yeah, I don't know. Gold paint probably can't be good for you either.
No.
But I mean, any of it's better than MD 2020 though.
Oh, I remember MD 2020 as well. Mad Dog 2020. Any flavor you want, they got it.
Yeah,
And you're guaranteed to throw up if you drink it.
every time. Worst headache ever.
Cheap as hell. I think it was like $1.50
Yeah.
maybe.
If you were on a budget, yeah, you were good to go. I used to get that, and I used to get Boone's Farm all the time. The little bottles of strawberry Boone's Farm.
Oh yeah.
We used to go up to Osco's and buy those by like the case. And when we were even younger than that, we figured out that as soon as they would go bad, they would just set it out in cases by the dumpster, so we could just go collect it and just bring it back to the house. So yeah, we always kind of had that on tap.
So who do we got fighting next?
I'm not sure who's next. The card wasn't that great. There's a Holly Holm fight. The fight that I really want to see is Macy Barber and Andrea Lee. That was kind of the.
You like Macy Barber?
No, I like Andrea Lee.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm a huge Andrea Lee fan.
I don't know who she is.
KGB? You don't know her? Wears
It don't-
cowboy hat,
it don't
little blonde
ring-
chick.
It don't ring the bell.
Does she come out with a crowd?
Oh yeah, every time.
Oh.
Damn, this TV screen's good, man.
Yeah, I want to drag the one from the living room out here, but Mandy will let me.
How big is that one?
65,
Oh man,
Oh.
and it looks way better. It's brand new, so it's
yeah, that look badass right here.
yeah. I mean, that one's big enough. I'd have to mount it. I couldn't just get away with the stand.
Yeah,
Man, that guy looks tan.
yeah, I keep
Yeah.
up on him.
What do you think of Connor and Michael Chandler?
Oh, I can't wait for it. It's gonna be fireworks.
I want to say that I think Connor gets mauled, but every time I say that, he makes me look like an ass. So we'll see. I'm a huge Michael Chandler guy.
I think Connor's gonna. He's got so much explosive power. He's gonna be so much bigger than Chandler. I really do think that he's gonna explode and hit him with something big and take him out early.
That very well could be. That seems to be how I'm hoping that his fluctuation in weight, and it's been a couple years. Like maybe he won't do my guy dirty like he did Cowboy, because I didn't enjoy watching that one at all either.
No, I like Cowboy. Cowboy's got the good guy theme going for
Yeah.
himself. He's got a good personality and he's just lovable, likable. So I've always liked Cowboy, and now I think he might be going to boxing.
That'd be something.
Yeah, he always had really good stand up. So
I don't know where he's at losing that kick to the head though. That's what put people down.
yeah, he's been through some wars, and actually the last few fights, he took quite a bit of damage. So yeah, I'd say stay out of fighting, and he's got a career. He's also doing movies now.
Yeah, I seen he had like a Western or something that he was in.
Yeah, so that might be his next thing. I
Yeah.
hope he sticks with it because I'm sure it's going to be good. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I'd be intrigued to see that too. Well, hopefully they put him in something that's like a decent budget though, instead of like this B-rate film where it just kind of goes by the wayside and nobody sees it.
Yeah,
They have a bad habit of putting good MMA fighters into stuff like that. Like I think Rich Franklin was in like a Universal Soldier 3 or something like that, him and Andrei Arlovsky. And I
yeah.
don't think anybody's seen it. But Rich Franklin's my all-time favorite fighter. Like that's my dude. And I was excited to see he was in a movie until I seen the movie, and then
So what about these AI movies now? Have you seen any of the AI movies on Netflix? They're coming out with a bunch of them. There's actually like 2 of them that her and I watched that was decent, but they're kind of hard to swallow at first because their lips doesn't match the voice.
you're talking movies that they've shot with
They-
AI.
They're foreign. No, they're foreign movies, but they actually bring them over here and they make their lips move
Oh.
to other people's voice.
Okay, where they dub like Squid Games, where they like dub over and like.
Yeah,
I haven't watched many of them, man. Like I'm a huge like, I'm an audio guy.
yeah.
So like if the words in the like it doesn't match up, I'm like, and I'll shut it off right
It's kind of
away.
weird.
Like I can't do it, man. And like I can't. It's not kung fu theater. Like I could do it as a kid with Bruce Lee movies and stuff, man. Where like he'd talk for a half hour and then the subtitles would say thank you. But that was a little bit different scenario. But I thought you were talking movies about AI
No,
no.
like that. That's scary.
no.
Like,
There's a lot of movies now that are coming out. They're foreigner movies, and they actually just dub over it. And we watched 2 of them that were good, and then we tried like 2 others and just couldn't get past like halfway through the first episode or something.
yeah. The market's huge for that, though. I did see like a bunch of horror movies and stuff. Like Netflix has like a whole bunch of them. Like, because I'm one of those that I'll scroll through like every movie on Netflix before I'll pick a damn movie.
Mhm.
And I'll be scrolling through, I'll be like, seen it. And then I'll get into stuff and it's like a foreign film that's like, yeah, like dubs over. And I'm like, I went too far. I've been scrolling for way too long. Amanda gets mad at me too because 9 times out of 10 I'll fall asleep looking for a movie instead of
Right.
actually picking one.
Yeah, we got the same problem because I'm super picky with movies. I like action movies. I mean, actually, I don't have a set kind of movie that I like, but I am very picky.
I hate the movies where they're like really slow in the beginning. That's when we like don't watch it the rest of the night because it's like it takes forever to get to like the fun part. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
I also have that problem too. Like in the first 7 minutes, if it doesn't grab my attention, I'm snoring.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I'm done. Like I'm out for the day. Like that's my like if it's time to go to bed, like you put on a movie and then just drift out.
But The Last of Us, we just gave that one a chance. It was slow. That's one of the movies that we gave it a chance. Everyone was talking about it, and I said, let's just keep on going. And it ended up paying off. It was definitely a good movie, but it drags you on like the scenes. You know how normally those, well, the scenes too. They did have 1.5-hour episodes, but the scenes, instead of like little short clips, they show a lot of it, so it's kind of dragging you on. Instead of walking through, shows them walking through the field, like 1-second clip, and then it shows them in the city. You know, instead it shows them walking all the way through the field.
I heard that one was really good though. Like I heard like episode 2, like 3, like it starts to get really, really good.
Yeah.
It's based off a game
Mhm.
for
Yeah,
PlayStation.
yeah.
And so I definitely want to check it out, man. But I have the attention span of a gnat, so like I don't do well with the hour-long format because I'm kind of like, oh, you can't watch 2, you can't watch 3, like, so I'm a big like I find myself watching a lot of like old comedy sitcoms, like more than anything else.
Are you serious? I can't watch them because of the graphics. The graphics stuck on them. You can tell they're an old movie or an old show.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. But I grew up with my grandparents, dude. I was watching episodes of I Love Lucy
Or like
in 1995. Like that's all we watched in the house, man. That was in black and white. So anything past that, I'm good to go.
I know it. I mean, I'd come in and my grandpa would be half cocked with a Budweiser next to him, smoking a cigarette, laying on the couch watching the Lone Ranger with all the lights off. There'd be no lights on in the house. And she still asks me to this day, like, she's like, why is all the lights off? I'm like, this is how I grew up. I don't mind sitting around with no lights.
That's how you watch the Lone Ranger. Right. But my kids get mad at me, man, because I got it's like a nostalgia thing though. Like, so I've got a movie. It's an old John Wayne movie. It's called El Dorado, and it is one of my favorite movies of all time. Just because I watched it a lot with my grandpa as a kid, and it's the most entertaining out of John Wayne's terrible movies. So like, I don't watch any other ones, but like I watch it like I don't know every 3-4 months I'll watch it, and the kids get so mad at me because they're just bored to death.
So you're basically turning into an old person.
I think like I advanced 20 years living with my grandparents.
So you're like an old soul.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I mean, I'm watching John Wayne movies, so
Yeah.
maybe.
So is this bigger than the other one, or is this smaller?
This is the same setup, like the same area, but I built the wall. So last time you were here, the wall wasn't here, and it was just the entire garage.
So I was here.
Yeah, yes. I thought you meant the house where we used to roll.
Yeah.
No, it's a different house. The house with the mats and stuff was the old house was off of Goshen Avenue, downtown.
I knew it. I told her, I said it was right in the ghetto.
Yeah, no, we've moved on up. We're out of there. But that other house was so much cooler, man. It was twice the size of this one.
Yeah.
But when my grandparents passed away, they left me the house, and I gotta move back.
He said that we were supposed to park in the back.
No, you can park wherever you want, man.
No, I was messing with her.
Oh,
I was like, because last time my car got vandalized, I said we gotta park in the back so no one messes with our car. She was like, well, I'm not going.
No, it's not. I mean, we're in the Jimtown district. This is not. There's not a bad neighborhood in the Jimtown district.
Yeah.
You been here long? Then?
Well, yeah. Most of my life, I lived here with my grandparents until I was 16, and then I moved out until I was 24, and then back, and I'm 35 now. So I've lived here the majority of my life. Just a couple odds and end apartments and houses and stuff.
Yeah.
Like when we were younger, but.
I told her, I said this because, she don't know this side of town. She don't even know anywhere around here because she's from St. John. So I told her, I said, well, this ain't too bad. This is out of town kind of. But I knew someone else that lived back here too, and used to come over here. So.
Yeah, it's all farm kids over here.
There used to be a couple cops that lived in here as well. Is there any cops that live in this neighborhood?
I don't know. I never get in trouble, so I don't think so.
You're not paying any extra for rent, are you, for having a cop down the road?
No. No, I'm not sure if they still live in here or not. The last ones that I knew of were the Lundgrens used to live down the street from here.
Mm.
And I know they're a police family, like they're all police officers, but no, and it's a quiet neighborhood. There's not a lot goes on here.
Sugar Sean O'Malley.
What do you think about him beating Peter Yan?
Man, I love Sugar Sean. He's got a nice little podcast. He does good. He's good for the sport. He's like the next Conor McGregor, but he's doing his own thing. He's the Sugar Sean Show. The Sugar Show.
What do you think about that man, Henry Cejudo?
Yeah, so him and Aljamain Sterling are fighting next, and I just hope something goes wrong because I know Sugar Sean's stepping up.
Neither one of them won any Henry Cejudo.
Yeah, but it's already set. Aljamain Sterling and Henry.
Yeah, but that could easily change.
Yeah. I think if anything, it'd be Aljamain, something happening with him.
Yeah. I'm surprised that he's held the belt as long as he had.
He's tough.
He is tough.
He's super tough. He's good on the ground. And
He is
like,
tough, but I thought he would lack in the hands when he was good on the ground, and he'd run into somebody they'd give him some problems.
if he gets you on the ground, he's gonna lock you up, and once he gets that triangle wrapped around you, you're done.
Yeah, but I don't think he does that to Cejudo.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see.
But I guess you put a wrestler on his back. It's the worst place for them to be.
Yeah, it's just exciting to see Henry come back. You don't even know how he's gonna fight. I'm sure he's gonna be a badass, of course.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's a lot of stuff that kind of got shaken up here. Different titles and stuff like Izzy losing,
Yeah,
John Jones getting the belt at heavyweight.
yeah,
Who'd seen that coming?
that's awesome too. I like John Jones.
I do too. I hope he has from here on out in his career a good ending. He can drop all the problems and just the BS and kind of get past all that. Because I do honestly think he is one of the most talented fighters of all time, if not the.
Oh yeah, I mean, he fought all the best and he wiped out everybody and he made it look easy.
Yeah, one of his most impressive things I ever seen was when he choked Lyoto.
Yeah,
Just choked him out and dropped him.
He's got long limbs and he moves around good. He's very strategic and he game plans like no others. So definitely he's got all the tools and he comes from a championship bloodline, so to speak, with his brothers being football players
Absolutely.
and stuff. So he's just got like talented embedded in him.
I heard he wasn't the tough one growing up either.
Oh, really? So that that might say something because he got his ass beat by his bigger brothers all the time. So what's that gonna do? It's gonna make you an animal.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet he puts a hurting on both of them now, though. I don't know. Those are some big boys.
Yeah, it's interesting to see, but depends on how long he sticks around too. Why would he want to stick around instead just get a couple fights in the heavyweight, become the greatest of all time, the most wins ever, undefeated. Even that loss that he had from a knee.
Matt Hamill.
Yeah.
The 12-6 elbows.
Yeah.
And
actually Matt Hamill, I think, end up getting that loss back because
it's still a win for Matt Hamill at this point.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they were trying to overturn it. I don't think it's a black mark though. Like everybody watched the fight, knows what happened, knows he was dominant, knows he was young at that point too, made a mistake. I mean, I think he only does like 2 or 3 fights at heavyweight though. I think if he beats Stipe, drops down, takes 205 back and retires, he's the best of all time and nobody can say anything about it.
So here's a theory. He fights until he finds that he's challenged because of his undersize or whatever, or these guys are just too big, and then he pulls off a win and then he quits after that.
Maybe like GSP.
Yeah.
Kind of had a rough fight against Johnny Hendricks and then was out after that.
He's like, well, it's my time. I can't stick around. I've gotten too big and he can't go back down.
But where do you draw the line? Like, where do you stop?
Well, that's the thing.
Because I feel like Anderson stayed too long.
Yeah, he did. And you're right. Sometimes it's people in your ear that you got to depend on to say, hey, it's time to quit. But then again, who's going to be that guy to say, hey, bro, you're getting too old and you've taken maybe in some cases too much damage.
Yeah. I mean, I would say almost nobody leaves at a good time. I mean, GSP, but even they baited him back. You seen he didn't stay. Like, he didn't want to fight Izzy. He didn't want to fight anybody at 85. No. He wanted to get the belt, get out. You know what I mean? Thought Bisping was a good fight that intrigued him. Khabib, I don't think Khabib ever comes back.
Well, these people are about 10 years apart.
Yeah, I don't think Khabib ever comes back.
I hope he doesn't, because it'll be like a mystique behind his name. Love
That
Bruce.
guy
I love
is-
Bruce Buffer.
The best in the game, man.
He holds that long note.
Can't believe that guy buys a new suit for every one of these.
He does.
A brand new suit, and then he donates them afterwards.
I was gonna say, what's he do with all of them?
Oh, he'd have so many of them.
Oh my god.
I mean, I think he started at like UFC 12.
How old is he? Do you know?
He's in his 50s, I think, his late 50s.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's not that old.
Did you hear that story about him and Michael Buffer? You know, of course, they're brothers.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't know each other until later in life.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane to me.
Yeah. I heard that story a couple times, and it's super interesting that they're both the best in the world at what they do, and they're brothers, and they didn't even know each other. So which side do you like better tattoos? I think the other side's too dark. I like the left side. How?
The left one.
Yeah.
I can't tell what the right one is.
Yeah. It's kind of
It's like,
too black.
oh, let's see his back. Turn around, guy. Oh, it's not the same referee. I like the, what's his name? Does he have a name? That the
It is Herb Dean. I think probably the
black guy.
one that you know. Yeah.
Oh,
Herb Dean.
Yeah.
There's so many of them now. Even Frank Trigg is a referee.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's
Cool.
doing some of the UFC fights.
oh, it looks like a clown.
So
face.
you ever get the itch?
Well, of course. I
You been rolling or anything at all?
it's been a while, but I think I rolled like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago.
You did it in the summertime at volleyball with his nephew.
With my nephews, yeah. I get challenged every so often, friendly challenge, friends, family, whatever, and I take it, and it's fun. But yeah, I always think, man, what if I could just do one more time?
That's the head. So one more,
I
and then
know,
one more
just-
is one more, and then one more is all right. Maybe two more.
Wait, didn't
Yeah.
you do it with Joel? Is that the one you're talking about? Or no?
Oh well, we
you guys
hit the
didn't go.
mids. We didn't
Oh,
spar or anything, but I've been sparring a little bit with clients that come over. Tomorrow, in fact, I got a new client coming, so that's gonna be exciting. So I do like boxing lessons, self defense, weight loss. So I kind of still do some of the things I used to love, and I got mats in my basement and stuff. You haven't been to my basement,
Okay.
but it's changed up a little bit, and now I got mats in my basement. So I actually got a training facility downstairs.
Nice.
But do you remember the bar that we did our podcast
Yeah.
on and stuff? You
Mhm.
brought your equipment. That was cool as hell.
Yeah, that was a cool little spot. Like you had the big thing on the background, the wood piece.
Yeah, that said Brown on
Uh-huh.
it. Yep.
Yeah, was that all like live edge, like
Yeah,
big thick?
Joel Chapman made that for me.
Nice.
Joel made that, and
That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
yeah, he burned it for me. He burned it, and then he put lacquer around it, so that's how it got all shiny, and it'll last forever.
That's awesome. Yeah, I remember looking at it. I was like, oh damn, that's dope.
It's a heavy
That's-
piece. It's heavy.
Oh, I bet it looks heavy. We do a lot of that stuff at work, like big live edge tops and stuff like that.
No, really?
Yeah, and I don't like carrying them around. That's not a good sign.
You don't have to do it often.
Well, unfortunately, I do it almost every day. I'm in charge of shipping and receiving, so I load all the trucks.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so I touch every piece of product that goes through that place.
So you pick up the slack for your people too?
Always.
Oh, sweet.
I think that's part of the job.
Yeah. So you're a team player.
You have to be. As annoying as it is sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing is building your team up strong and getting them the best that they can be, so it makes your job easy. And that's not to say that you're trying to be a slacker or nothing, but a good leader actually just builds the team up to be strong to support the floor so that you can do your stuff. Because the more time you have, the more creative you can get to come up with ways to make their job easier and work on awesome shit. If you get what I'm saying.
That yeah, that would be ideal.
Are you stretched thin?
Oh, like you wouldn't believe. It's yeah, it's just hard to get people. And then you know, I say that. It's hard to get, so we normally have 3 or 4 drivers, and I've got 3 awesome guys that are amazing, but that 4th spot is so damn hard for whatever reason to fill. Like just to, I mean, and the 3 guys that I have working with me have been there for 6-7 years. It's just that last spot
Really?
makes stuff tough. Yeah.
Well, is it you got veterans that are there that kind of feel like they own the spot, and when people come in, they kind of feel like you know, it's hard to connect to the group that's already
No,
there.
this job is the most easygoing place
Are you serious?
I've ever worked in my entire life.
Really?
Absolutely. It is. I mean, that's why I've been there 10 years, and I have no intentions of leaving. I mean, it's an amazing place.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, it's just that 4th fucking driving spot for whatever reason, man. I don't know.
So they're pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, there's some pretty good fights on this card. It's getting to the point where they're getting so many people, though I don't know everybody anymore.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of names that I don't recognize, and it seems like the best cards are the ones where you don't know anybody because they've got something to prove or whatever, you know, for whatever reason. They're putting it out there. So that's tonight. I mean, like there was potential fight of the year you guys missed before you got here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you their names, but it was a fight. Yeah, I wouldn't. At some point, I wouldn't mind getting back into some jujitsu, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was my whole thing. That was mostly what I was infatuated with. Like, I'm good on getting punched in the head. That's not that great, but I absolutely love jujitsu.
I remember coming over to your house and rolling in the garage, and I still have a picture with. Do you remember that picture?
Yeah.
There was probably, how many do you think?
Probably 15
12,
people.
15, yeah, 15 people that showed up.
And we used to get groups like that all the time. And I can't, for the life of me, I don't like, there were so many people like I just didn't know. They would just show up to roll like all the time. And it was great though. Like everybody was always super chill. Like I never, as many groups as we had out, I never had a problem with anybody.
Oh, really?
Never.
Huh.
Never anybody never came back, broke into my stuff, or nobody was ever like really mouthy or like just, you know, unruly or anything like that, man. Like everybody was just super cool. And it was really awesome because we, you know, that whole thing was really early in MMA, especially for like local, you know, the local scene. That was before sanctioning or any of that. And I made a lot of friends, man, through that I still talk to. I talk to more people from like groups of guys that would come over to roll than I do anybody I went to high school with.
Oh, really?
Oh, absolutely.
I wonder if I don't know why it's not connecting, but
It's going in and out.
it does.
Did it connect to my Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
I don't know.
People are watching.
Nice. Take that. Oh, got a submission.
Wow. Oh.
Nope, he's out.
Oh.
You got enough of that cat pee in you to have a pour? That's good bourbon, dude.
What is it?
High Bank. They only make it. You can only get it in Ohio.
Well, how did
Don't
you
you
get
drive
it?
there?
Order it?
No, I got a buddy.
Oh,
His mom lives a couple doors down, and we grew up together. So he comes over every Christmas, and that's our thing. Like we'll trade bottles of bourbon, like stuff that I can get here, and then stuff that he can get there, and then we'll just kind of pass them back and forth. So we've got different stuff.
okay.
Oh.
Here we go. Let's smell it first.
Take a little bit. It's got a little burn.
Whoa.
Oh.
That's the stuff, man.
Oh. That's,
Just get you a little bit.
wow. Are you just drinking that?
Yeah.
Oh, on the. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes hard.
Just pour it in and sip on it.
He goes hard.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, nice chopping it up. Here we go.
Oh, I missed it. Did he? Oh man, your
Look at
cup
that.
was
No
in the
no
way.
face, no nothing.
You got to go all
Took it
all
like
the
a
way
trooper.
to Ohio for that nasty shit. It tastes like lacquer. What just happened?
Yeah, your glass was in the way. I didn't
Ah.
get to see.
Are
what
you
happened.
serious?
Yeah.
Ooh, this one's sponsored by Jimmy John's.
What did he do? That way?
Oh, drop down, got him in a guillotine.
Oh. You can't. There's no way to get out of it.
Ooh, he got him arm in too. No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Where's this?
Wow.
What was your favorite thing to put people in and just strangle them with?
Where's the string? That just so.
I like the triangle and the arm triangle. So
Uh,
from side mount.
my
arm
favorite one is
triangle.
the Peruvian necktie. It's hard to pull. I didn't get it very often, but when you got it, I ended up on bottom so many times trying to pull that damn thing off.
Yeah, that's a hard one to get, but like I guess if you feel pretty awesome after getting it, then payoff is right there because you know how hard it is, and when you can just sink one, it's like okay,
Yeah.
now we're winning, bitches.
Yep. I'm too big to do that shit now though, man. It was all in the when you cut the angle, it's all in that little leap to get your leg over the neck. Yeah, I'm too big for that shit now.
Okay, who do we got up next?
I don't know. See if we can
Is
see
it
the
still
card.
prelims?
No, I think yeah. No, I think this might be main card starting right now. 7:30.
Are you serious?
Is it already 7:30?
Yeah. The fight started
Oh,
at
wow.
4:30.
Can you see us pretty good in there?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just like it when I pulled it up.
Yeah.
I have to go see my aunt and uncle.
Why? What happened?
Nothing.
Did they have a baby? Oh, what kind of baby did they have?
Who have a baby?
Oh, there's no baby. I'm sorry about that. What happened? I thought they had a baby.
Who are you talking about? There's no babies.
What kind of career do you think that would be being a referee? You think like you have to have a day job besides that?
Yeah.
I mean, like when you get to this level and you're doing big show, that's all through the commission. So I guess it doesn't matter whether you're doing UFC or in a horse barn.
I think they got side jobs because they're not working throughout the week.
Yeah, we were talking about AI earlier.
Yeah.
Have you seen that movie Ex Machina or Ex
Uh-uh.
Machina or whatever? I don't know how you say it,
No.
but it's about that they basically build AI and it kind of takes over and like escapes into like the world.
Oh.
Did you see the thing that Facebook tried to do, the Meta or whatever, where they built the AI?
It's coming.
Well, they built the AI and it gained knowledge so fast they had to shut it down.
Really? I didn't hear
Yeah.
about that.
Oh.
That's scary.
Wow.
Like that's a huge concern. Like I'm not so much worried about like Russia and like China. I'm more worried about Skynet and robots and shit way sooner than that.
I
Do you
didn't
think-
realize that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you think people will be robots like in those movies? And they
N-
look like real people, but they're robots underneath.
Maybe at first, like when they build them like that, but like after they get rid of all the people, like, what's the point? Like, you don't have to wear fake like people skin anymore. You could just be a robot.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool if you were walking around and you just didn't know who was robot and who wasn't. It's like, I need to see your ID. I need to see if you're a robot or not.
Oh, there'd be fake IDs immediately.
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be, what do you mean that'd be cool? That'd be scary, dude. Like, you're just
That-
like at a bar and you get into a scuffle and you punch a guy and no, it's just metal.
it would up the ante. Like, imagine all the things that we deal with now with just normal human beings, like personality conflicts and people not getting along, people being sneaky snakes. They try to friend you, and they got underlying things that they're coming after you for in the friendship. Imagine if there was actual robots too. That would be so crazy. You'd be having to worry about all the bullshit that we deal with normal human beings, and then also on top of that, we gotta figure out if you're a fucking robot.
Yeah,
I
but I
wouldn't
don't
want
I don't think that would
robots.
last for long because I immediately robots get sick of our bullshit and just eliminate us, and then it's just robots. You know what I mean? Like, you don't, if you have a problem, like, you get rid of the problem if you're a robot. Like, you don't sign up for unnecessary things.
Probably.
Like the movie I, Robot. Remember that one?
Yeah, they just yeah. And then the only person left is Will Smith and a bunch of robots. Like, you're there before you know it. Or Terminator, like Skynet, like that whole deal.
Oh, that was a good movie.
Like, they built robots and then they just kind of took over. Like, yeah.
Like, your love making skills suck, human beings. You end up going too quick. Get rid of all the humans.
If robots get that advanced, I think the human race dies. I don't think guys put up with girls' bullshit anymore. I think they just buy a robot and then they're just like, yeah, whatever. And then, like, that's it. And then vice versa for women and men.
Yeah.
The Earth will just be robots.
Like, the robots would be so smart that no one would even try any bullshit because they can read each other's minds because they're computers. They just Bluetooth right to each other.
They would definitely know what was going on.
Yeah.
And then robots would build other robots. Like, I mean, the possibilities are endless.
I think there is one robot out there, but not like a person, but they have a metal robot that they're working on.
They
You know.
have you seen the Boston Dynamics, like the robots from them, like that jump up on the crates and like jump over shit?
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah.
Those are scary too.
Yeah.
Like, they show like they've basically built them to just do small tasks for right now. But like,
Just small tasks, just jumping over a whole crate.
or a car, or yeah. Well, they started a small task. But
Climb buildings and shit.
but
Oh,
they'll
just
show 'em-
small.
like, they can right themselves. Like, they'll shows a guy walking up and just like shoving them, and they'll stumble a little bit and then just right themselves and just keep coming. Yeah.
Oh.
It's crazy.
You got me scared in my fucking pants right now.
There he is, cowboy.
Oh, hell no.
Dude, I'll tell you what.
Standing
Is that the guy you were
ovation,
talking
cowboy.
I've been to a lot of fights. Yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah.
I've been to a lot of fights and a lot of shows. I have never, I mean, like, I've been to a lot of sporting events too. I have never heard a crowd as loud as when Cowboy walked out for his fight with Tony Ferguson. I went to that one live.
Really?
Yeah. And I've never heard a crowd like that.
What's going on here?
Is he fighting tonight?
I don't know.
No, he's not fighting tonight, but
Did they just announce that he was going to be in the Hall of Fame, maybe?
are those his kids?
Mm. I was like, he picked up random kids. I'm gonna throw twins. They look like
That's his
twins.
wife. Aw, little kissy
Oh my
kiss.
God, I
Oh,
got
got a brand new,
Another baby.
looks like a boy from the back.
A surprise to bring his family out to enjoy this moment with him. Donald Cowboy Cerrone is heading where we all knew he would be someday. The UFC Hall of
Wow, that's awesome, dude. What are the odds doing a podcast like when this moment? That is dope. Like, I think that's awesome.
He deserves every bit of it. Look at him.
Absolutely.
He's crying. He's breaking down. He's turning into a crybaby. The toughest guy on earth, planet Earth, is crying.
Hey, man, it's all right to be humble.
That's
No,
for sure.
that's right, man. He cries all the time. Just doesn't say it to anybody.
She got a crybaby jar at home. She opens it up and catches every single tear. She said, when you're gone, she goes, I drink from this tear bottle.
Ew,
Bro.
that's disgusting.
Bro, and you're worried about robots?
Have you ever saw that show? Oh, what's it called? I think it's on TLC. I don't know, some show. It's where like weird habits. There was this one lady, her husband passed away, and she had his ashes, and she had a habit where she would eat his ashes like,
Ugh.
every day. Yeah. it was
Wow.
gross.
This was real?
Yeah, it was real.
Or it was
So
a
what do
movie?
you-
No, it's real. It's real people.
What was My Strange Addiction, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. So, like, what do you do if you find out, like, your aunt's been eating your uncle? You put her down? Like, what do you do? Like, Thanksgiving's not normal.
Oh, that's so.
That's just crazy.
Oh.
Like, I don't know where you go from there.
Wow. Yeah. I mean,
Do you-
I've ate a worm before for my daughter when she was just a little tiny. I think she was 2 years old, and we went out on a boat and fishing. You know, I like to fish, and yeah, it was kind of like showing off. But I always did these things for my kids, Kelsey and Kenzie. They always were entertained by Dad because I would always do weird shit. And the one time I took a worm and I was like, let's go.
Worm won't hurt you, man.
I just tried to be a fun dad.
Those will keep you alive in a survival scenario.
Would you ever?
Your
do-
uncle will not.
Would you ever do Fear Factor? if you could
Oh,
go
yeah.
there? Would you ever go? And
Well,
like,
so I would do all the gross shit on Fear Factor, no
Oh.
problem. What would get me is heights. I don't like heights. So, like, the first challenge where they're like up in the air hanging from the helicopter.
It's that
Oh.
bad for you?
Yeah, I'm not even going. I don't even make it to the helicopter, bro.
Are you serious?
Like, I get nervous watching the helicopter. Like, yeah, absolutely. I do. That is my biggest fear on this earth is heights.
Wow. Hey, so have you did the what's the goggles that you put on and
Oh, like the Oculus, like
the Oculus? Have
I
you
have
played
one.
some of that?
Oh, you
So
have
did
have
you
one.
play the game where you get in the elevator and go up to the Empire State Building?
no.
That was crazy.
I did play one where I was on a roller coaster, and like you got to shoot targets, and it goes pretty high. I don't like it, dude. Like it makes me nauseous immediately. Like I can't do it, man.
So do you got the new Oculus?
No, I've got the Quest 2.
Oh,
So not the first one, but the second one.
yeah.
Yeah, the third one, the new one looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
But like I got the last one, and like I played it for a little bit, but it was one of those things like I wasn't like I was impressed with it, but I don't want to spend all day like in virtual reality looking around. Like I'd rather go outside.
Mhm.
yeah.
Like I mean, it's fun.
Braxton wants one of those. I'll see him get him that for his birthday. His birthday's on Tuesday.
They're cool. The new one looks like it's got a lot of the bugs worked out. It's not as clunky.
Well, luckily we got a big front room because it can get dangerous. Because even though I got a big front room, when I first put them on, we did it I think on Thanksgiving. There was like, I don't know, 10 people in the front room and 5 of us tried it. And I got a big picture window on one side of the house, and yeah, that picture window almost was broken because somebody we was playing the one where you go up in the elevator and you got to walk out on the plank, and we also did one where you had to hit the blocks coming down. So
Alright.
I don't remember the name of it, but it was super fun. But anyways, when you're walking forward and you're smacking your hands forward, that can get a little dangerous when there's a big picture window right there.
Just straight through it.
Yeah.
I used to love those. You'd see on when the Wii came out, all the Wii fails where people were playing like bowling and
Oh,
they'd throw their
yeah.
fucking remote through their TV.
Yeah. I never got angry at the games. I never
No, I don't-
slammed them around.
I don't
or
think this was
anything.
like people doing it on purpose, but you're like playing baseball and you go to swing and you
Oh,
just let it go, man, and
yeah.
it just goes through the TV. And there's some 7-year-old going,
Oops.
"Dad's gonna kill me."
Oh shit. Yeah, I wasn't one to do that, but a lot of my friends, you know, they would sit there and they'd be bouncing around and you know, slam it into the bed or something like that. I never got that angry over games. I guess I was more controlled.
Yeah. I've had my fair share of, depending on what game.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Adventure Island, that was the funnest for me on Nintendo. It was Super Nintendo, Adventure Island. It was so fun.
I don't remember it.
Yeah, it was as close to Mario as you're gonna get, but you go around collecting fruit, jumping through the jungle, and you know, it was basically same kind of Mario setup. That's what made it so fun. It was just addicting. So
Nice.
I might have to show you that one time.
Were you a big video game guy as a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Tekken when PlayStation come out.
Oh man, played the shit out of Tekken.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
And then what's the other one? Mortal Kombat. We played that. Tekken, Mortal Kombat, and there was one other.
Killer Instinct.
I wasn't too much into Killer Instinct, although I did play it.
Yeah, so I'm starting to kind of get into like retro games again. NBA Jam.
Oh, that was always real fun.
Like I'll still play the shit out of that. Like
get on fire and you can jump all the way full court.
yeah,
slam
run with the
dunk,
turbo
baby.
on and have your sneakers glowing.
Uh-huh. Shoes get wings.
Is that on the new system?
No, that was on the Super.
Oh.
But they're bringing some of the games back, right? On the new system.
Oh yeah, they're redoing a lot of them. Yeah. That's the plan for that back half of that room back there. I'm gonna finish it and clean everything out, and I'm gonna get stand-up arcade games around it.
Really?
Oh, that'd be fun.
That's the plan.
Sweet.
Yeah, I've been looking for but I want like actual ones though. Like I don't want like those little arcade one-up ones.
Mhm.
I'm sure I'll end up with a couple of them, but I want a Galaga machine. When I was a kid, my mom used to work at a diner down the road here that my aunt owned. And she used to take me to work, and that's how they would shut me up and keep me busy all day. They would hand me a roll of quarters, and I'd sit there and play Galaga all day. So anywhere that I go, I'm walking in and setting the high score in Galaga every
What's
time.
Galaga?
It's the one with the little spaceship,
And you're shooting.
and you just tap,
asteroids?
yep,
Oh.
and they're like the little snakes and shit are coming at you,
Oh,
and
yeah.
like
Yeah.
yep, and then like if you could get sucked up into the portal and then shoot, and then you get like the double plane, and you can
I kind of felt like when you push the button, it wouldn't keep up.
Yeah, it depends on which one you get, man. So that's why I don't want like one of the arcade one-up ones, because a lot of like the reprint ones and even like ones you can get for the Xbox don't keep up. But the original one had a trackball,
Oh.
and that button would shoot as fast as you could hit it.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Okay. Now that's my kind of game.
Yeah.
Like Pac-Man, it's fun for a few minutes, but it's too repetitious for me.
Yeah. My daughter's really good at Dig Dug for no reason.
I don't remember that one. I mean, I did play it, but I don't remember it real good.
It's not really that fun, but it's hard, and she'll clear 10 levels like it's nothing.
Are you axing the ground? Is that what you're doing?
That's the one. Yeah. So it'll start, and then you've got to shoot the little spear, and then you blow up the characters, like they explode,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
like the dragons, and then like
Uh-huh.
there's like the sun and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, she murders me at that one every time. Like I don't understand why. She's just really good.
So are you feeling that yet or not really?
The bourbon?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Are
Not a
you
whole lot.
serious? Like I've just drank this right here.
Dude.
I mean,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
That I mean, like
I'm about to
So
finish
we're,
it,
like,
by the way.
I started, it was like right there. I drank the rest of that in one sitting.
Really?
Yeah,
What?
Yeah. I
So
could put
do
some
you-
bourbon down.
Do you have another one or no?
Oh, I've got a couple of them over there, and then another one in the house. Like
He's
I've got
got-
different ones.
Sousa
I mean, like, the
Gold.
same
He's
one.
got.
No, I don't have
Tito's.
any more of that one.
Oh.
You've got some good stuff over there, actually.
Yeah. I've got my.
Oh, Proper 12. Is that any good?
It's awful.
Ah.
It is the worst whiskey I've ever had in my
Are you-
life, dude. I don't think there's anything left in the bottle, or I'd give you some. I think it's empty. I try to pass it off on everybody who'd come over to get rid of it.
Was it like
It's just I'm biased to begin with. I'm not a huge Irish whiskey kind of guy anyway.
Oh,
Like I don't really care for Jameson.
yeah.
Do you like Jameson?
I don't like whiskey.
So
we're drinking vodka.
You don't
and-
like Proper 12 then, because I'll tell you what, dude, it's like rot gut whiskey, dude.
Really?
It's not good.
So it's not even a good Irish whiskey.
No, I would say Jameson is like, it's not bottom of the barrel, but it's like a $30 bottle. Like
It looks
it's-
so cool. The bottle looks so cool, though.
It is, and I think they have it in flavors now.
Yeah, they do. They got like apple or something because of
Ugh, because the original tastes so bad, they had to put apples in it.
wow.
That guy's so much taller than him. Well, I mean, that's it.
But look, they weigh the same.
Yeah.
For about 4 minutes.
You're talking a 5-inch reach, so he's got a 5-inch advantage on the reach. So that's pretty good. You're right. One's way taller than the other.
Yeah, the tall guy weighed 185 for about 4 minutes, and he's probably up to 210 now.
Where are they at? Are they in Vegas?
Yep.
Oh, let's look at Michelle's nails. She said they really look real too. They're reusable. I don't know how they're reusable.
Huh.
I want to try it, but I don't really feel like paying for shipping.
So who's your go-to fighter, man? Who's like a fight you don't miss? Like your favorite guy of all time? It doesn't have to be now. We're getting old, and the guys that we follow are mostly gone.
I mean, I like the big names. I like Gaethje, Cowboy.
Gagey's interesting, man. There's not that guy couldn't have a bad fight if he wanted to.
I just like the way he throws caution to the wind, even when he's gotten better. He's at the prime of his whole career.
Yeah.
And he's still fighting good, but he kind of still has his ways of doing things. Yeah, he's more methodical and he puts his punches together and stuff, but he does still take a lot of punishment, and he's just tough as nails. So that's what I like about him.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Michael Chandler.
Michael Chandler's tough. I like Michael Bisping as well. Michael Bisping he had a weird look to him the way he fought, but he still was a badass.
Yeah.
And he fought with one eye for who knows how long. So that is just skills and just heart and grit to get out there and want to fight with one eye. He lied to the commission for so long.
Oh yeah, for a long time. And I can't believe he got away with it. But to be fair, how many like down to the T everything it was supposed to be med checks have you ever had at a fight? They're always missing something. Like the one that I only have one, and they were supposed to take my blood pressure. They're like, we'll come back.
Did you fight in Michigan for your fight?
No, I
or-
thought it tapped out here in Indiana,
Oh, really?
right there. You know where tapped
But it
out's at.
wasn't commissioned then. was
No,
it?
God, no.
Okay, so is that the only time you ever fought?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It was one of those. It was one of those places where it was like, let me finish my beer
Yeah.
and then just get up and go in. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was wild, man. Did you ever go to any of those?
Yeah. I went to one tapped out one. I think Penrod was the guy putting the fights together, and then I had 2 or 3 guys fighting on that card that I knew. They weren't my fighters, but I was there supporting them, and one of the guys that was supporting his opponent didn't show up, so they was going to try to put him with a weight class up.
Dude, that shit happened there all the time.
So was it kind of like the movie Here Comes the Boom?
It wasn't as cheesy, but like
No,
It was wild. Like it was the Wild West.
it was fights. I mean, it was fights, and it was definitely people that were put up against each other that wasn't necessarily the fairest every time, but if they
No.
wanted to do it, they could do it.
You knew what you were getting into, I guess. Like it was a place like you could show up, and there's a very, very distinct possibility that somebody's dad could be fighting that night. Like there could be a 50-year-old guy get in there.
The cool thing about them events was it feels like you know behind in the back alley somewhere kind of thing. Even though you're fighting in a promotion, it just felt like something you could relate to, because it wasn't you know arrows on the ground. You get called out and everything is sanctioned, where your gloves get signed off on and all this stuff. There's a lot of direction. People know what they're doing. Instead, you got a lot of chaos in the back, and when your name gets called, it's time to fight.
All the way until you walk out to the cage, it's chaos. Just so you don't know what the hell's going to go on. So how did you get involved in your first MMA fight? Like what led you to that, and what started the whole thing for you?
Well, I got in Taekwondo. I fought for Engelmeyer Taekwondo in Constantine, and I trained with my friend Charlie McNulty. He got me into it, and then I started doing competitions. And part of the competition is the forms, where you go out there and you do your thing. You got to know your forms. And then there was actual point competition, where you had to go out there and joust somebody and barely touch them. And that kind of got boring to me. So after my first competition, and I did win, the next competition I went to, I said to Mrs. Engelmeyer, "Is there anything else I can do, like any real boxing or something?" So she would set up an exhibition match at the end, and I end up taking on black belt Taekwondo guys at the end after the whole competition was over. Somebody that would say, "Okay, I'll fight him," and that's kind of how we did it. And then I found jujitsu later on, and then after I got into jujitsu, that's when everything started for me. Because once I went to Luis Filio in Elkhart and tried my first jujitsu match, or my first jujitsu gym, uh, 3 months later, I was in the cage. That's how it went. I went from Taekwondo, competing, winning, then exhibition match at the end, and then going into jujitsu. And then that was kind of what led me into going into the cage, because there was cage fighters there, and they was connected to the cage fights. Um, and I said, sign me up. So after 3 months of training, I had my first match, and I'll call it luck of the draw. What happened was I got matched up with a guy that I went out and I knocked him out in the first round. And the crowd went crazy. They stood up, standing ovation, screaming. The rooftop just about came off that building that night. And it made me feel like $1 million.
You were hooked.
I was hooked, but that wasn't the end of the story. I came out of the cage, and there was probably 25, 30 people that came to support downtown Jeremy Brown. And so all them people were waiting for me to exit the cage, and they were all giving me hugs and congratulations. I'm so happy for you. And then from afar, I seen this girl. She was running from afar, and it was like in a movie. Everything was slow motion. I could see it. She came running at me, and she jumped on me and wrapped her legs around me and kissed me right on the lips and said, "I want to take you home and screw you right now." And I said, "Wow. If you can get in a fight and that happens every single time, sign me up." So
That was not my experience at all. Not at all.
that's what happened in my first fight. And after that happened, from a guy standpoint, you got to think, like we're on cloud nine. So the whole crowd went crazy. I just knocked the guy out, and then that girl does that, and of course that didn't happen, but it was adrenaline rush like you wouldn't believe. Of course, my next fight didn't go that way. I ended up winning, but it still didn't go with a knockout. But for a first fight, it went the best that it can for anybody, and that's what catapulted me into the love of MMA.
That again was not my experience at all. So I told you I fought at Tapped Out. So I got kind of into it with you remember Drew Atkins?
Yeah.
So he was like, dude, come watch me fight. I'm signed up to fight, whatever. And we go, and Drew's a tough fucking kid. He was always the neighborhood bully. Like he wasn't like a bad dude. He wasn't mean to people, but like if you started shit with Drew, like Drew more than likely beat the shit out of whoever started, stuff with him. I'm like, all right, cool, I'll go watch you fight. And they pitted him up against Dan Culberson.
I know the name, and I know who Drew is as well. But Dan Culbertson, I know the name. I just don't remember the face.
He was around like early there for a while, and then I kind of really never seen him again. Like I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah.
But he had some training. So I believe Drew got kneed in that fight and got finished on the ground, if I recall, or submitted after he got kneed. He put up a good fight again, for having no training or whatever. So we go to, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 of those. And I start rolling with Joe Paris. You remember Joe? He used to go over to my house.
I know who Joe Paris. He's a real cool dude. He actually does a lot of fishing, so I watch him a lot on my Facebook. It's the big one.
Joe's great. I love that guy. So I start rolling with Joe and Conan Romersberger. I don't know if you know Conan or not. Do you remember? Were you ever into skateboarding or anything like that at all, or like BMX or anything like that?
I definitely hung out with skateboarders, but no.
So they opened that skate park that was here off of Lusher Blindside Sports.
No.
He started that like that, so that was his thing. And then so like, my buddy James, who I skate with, hooked me up with Conan, and then I met Joe, and so I started rolling with Joe, and we're rolling for like a month, and I'm like, all right, cool. You know what? Maybe I'll do a fight. And I really didn't have any intentions on it, but I went with Josh Tavernier. We went to weigh-ins, and he weighed in, and then he kicked the scale at me. And he's like, "What do you weigh?" And I stand on it. I was 221. And the next guy that gets up there weighs 221. And Josh is like, "Fight him, dude. Fight him. Fight him. Fight him. Fight him. Fight him." I'm like, "All right, fuck it." So sign up to fight him, right? Dude, 10 minutes before my fight, they switch my fight, and I fight Nick Wagowski, who was like 5-1 and had fought for the belt there. So they kind of switched it up on me like right at the last minute. And
so you fought your first fight against a guy that was 5-1.
Yeah. Yep.
And hold the belt.
And well, he didn't hold the belt, but he had fought for the belt.
Okay.
Like I think his previous fight was for a title.
So we already had 6 fights though.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the way it was back then.
10 minutes before I was supposed to fight. And dude, it pissed me off because the guy that was at weigh-ins came out like Hickson Gracie, dude, didn't throw a single punch. Like I'd have mopped that dude. And I got thrown the other guy like last minute. But like how you were saying, like it's like chaos and like, dude. So I'm standing there waiting to go, and then they call fucking intermission. I'm like, God damn it, dude. I'm warmed up. Like I'm ready to get in there. Like I'm just like, your first fight, you're nervous as shit. And I'm just standing there for 15 minutes, like fuck. And then so I get in there and I didn't do like terrible. I think it was like, I don't know, a minute 15, minute 20, something like that. And I held my own all right. I lost. I got choked by some bullshit choke that I would never, ever tattoo now. But then so after that, like I really didn't have any ambitions of ever really fighting again after that. But then that's when I kind of fell in love with training and jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. And that's when I got the mats and when I started to have groups of people out and all that. So, yeah, I kind of went in reverse on that.
So aren't you like supervisor where you work?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the correlation between fighting, having the courage to fight, and just the pressure of being a supervisor and dealing with the daily pressure, stress of being a supervisor. Can you say that getting in the cage at least one time, and also training and kind of becoming relaxed and uh, knowing what to do in hard situations when you're about to get choked out. Can you say all that is a correlation that helps you deal with your daily supervisor job?
Um, yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, I think the experience in itself taught me a lot about being a man and being a human being just in general.
Yeah.
And I would say that I'm a completely different person because of that, and especially because of the relationships and stuff that I've made through jujitsu and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I would say that I apply that to all aspects of my life.
Yeah. So that's what I always wonder with people because I know what it did for me. Um,
Oh, it definitely changed who I was as a person.
and helped you deal with tough situations.
Yeah, I would say all kinds of adversity.
Because one time I was dealing with the roughest night ever. Um, and it was rough, but I had been at this place for 12 years and 9 of it being in supervision. So I've seen everything, or at least enough um, to not be phased by anything that came at me. And this was the biggest night, the most trucks ever coming in to pick up Walmart. And after the whole night, by the way, keep in mind, my supervisor was gone. I was only a group leader, but I was playing supervisor role that night and had to take on this tough task of the most trucks ever in the history of Syndicate at the time. And then the general manager comes in at 6 o'clock. He come in at 6 o'clock every morning. I work third shift. 1 hour before my shift is over, he came in and he has to walk past my desk, and he walks in the office and he stops and he says, "So how'd last night go?" And I said, "Oh, pretty good." And he said, "So you didn't screw anything up?" This guy was an asshole. He was a dick. He always tried to run people in the ground any chance he could. He said, "So you didn't mess anything up?" And I said, "You know what?" I said, "Actually, no." I said, "It went pretty dang smooth." I said, the expected amount of trucks didn't show up, but we did get a lot of trucks. And actually, nothing compares to me getting in the cage and having to stand across another animal trying to take my head off in front of 3,000 people. I said, so dealing with 20 people on the floor on my team that we're here to get a job done together, and we actually did it in a very smooth way. I said, for you to come and say that, I would have to say, yeah, it went pretty dang good, and not anything can compare to my cage fighting that I've done. So, and he just turned around and kept walking. And that's exactly how I feel about it too. I actually feel like standing in front of another man the night of weigh-ins and looking him in the eye and knowing that it's either you or him tomorrow, which normally was a Saturday. On Saturday, we're gonna know who's the winner between you two are. And I did that almost 30 times, and that really made me who I am today and helped me to just deal with all the aspects of life, even the toughest.
Oh, absolutely. There's not. I mean, you can't until you've done it. Like you can't compare the experience. Like people think of it as like a meathead thing to do. Like you know what I mean? Like you get that, but it's I don't know. There's life lessons in there that you can't
It's
get anywhere else.
competition. It's competition. It's not a street fight. It's not like you're going out and picking a fight with somebody and you're being mean or a thug or a bully. You know, this is pure competition. And there's a difference between competition, fighting in a cage where there's a referee that can stop it at any moment, and something you train for. And you guys are just in there to see who the best man is. that is the difference between a fight in the streets and a fight in the cage. And once you can separate fighting with competition and just a street fight, it becomes very different.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially where street fights, it can be one punch and it's over. Whereas once you get gloves on and you can punch several times, and whoever's got the most in the gas tank, if he's a seasoned challenger as well, someone who's been around the block, someone who's got multiple fights, someone who's trained hard for this day that he's going to war with you. It becomes an even battlefield, and it's going to take more than one punch. So that's very challenging, and test your mind and your heart as well. Because sometimes when you get in there and you get punched, it's like you can quit or you can keep going.
Oh yeah, there's two ways to go. There's I want in or I want out.
And
You see a lot of times, man, guys want out.
That's right. Going back to the days that you're talking about, the Wild Wild West days, before there was a commission and before people actually almost always trained. Once the commission came, it kind of changed the game, where there wasn't much of that guy coming from the kitchen or the front room couch.
Oh yeah, there was none of that. But the competition got so much steeper at that point.
Everyone was training, so it's like you knew you had to train, and it kind of drove you. Whereas back in the day, I kind of thought that was kind of cool too, because it changes a lot, because for you to actually have to train and then go weigh in and then follow through the next day and get up and actually go to the fight, you have to be in the right mindset to make that all happen and follow through with it and not give up.
Right. So that's what I was going to ask you was, so do you think it's the actual fight? And I know some of it, the fight itself, or do you think a lot of your lessons are learned from the mental and physical preparation leading up to a fight?
Both. But for me, standing in front of another guy and looking him in the eye and just knowing that it's you or him on a Friday night, and you have to go a whole 24 hours and wake up knowing that you're going to fight him that day, and you can give up. All it takes is just, you're already at home, you're in the comfort zone. You don't have to get in your car and travel to the promotion or wherever you're going to be competing that night.
Sure.
So for me, I seen before it got commissioned, a lot of people backed out. Remember, there was people backing out left and right. They'd say they want to fight. They might even show up to weigh-ins because they can make it that far because there's no fight involved.
Right.
But they didn't show up the next day when it was the day to fight.
Dude, I've seen people show up to the fight and leave before their fight.
I seen that actually too. But, towards the end of my career, like I said, there was nobody that was just jumping off their couch and going in there and fighting.
Yeah, all
it
of that
was
got weeded
commissioned.
out.
And in fact, I fought maybe in 2 fights that wasn't commissioned. All the rest were commissioned. And when I started my own team, Next Level MMA, I always told my guys that I would get them the easiest and the best fight for them on their first fight, to get them kind of what you would call a warm-up fight. The warm-up fight would be for a promotion in Michigan, somewhere that wasn't commissioned, and there was a lot more people that were fighting that weren't training on a regular basis at the real gym.
Now that you say that, that was scary though, because I remember that when you had Next Level going, and who was that girl that used to fight for you? Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot and you forget her name.
Well, yeah, because I do forget her name.
So we were, God, where were we at? What show? We were at the
that was
it was
for the
was it
Penrod.
9 was
that
it
was the Penrod show in Niles.
was it, or was it 9.5
it
series?
It was at Niles.
It was tapped out when they came back to the Niles Inn.
It was Niles, because Jeff
Dude,
Holmes fought that night too.
Girl got choked the fuck out, and dude, I don't know what I was, I think I was judging. And for whatever reason, they didn't stop it. And I'm standing on the fucking chair going, she's out, she's out, she's out. Dude, she let that girl go and she was like fucking blue, dude. Like it scared the shit out of me. And I don't know why. I just had that random memory and just recalled that, man. But yeah,
She was a tough girl. Actually, she quit shortly after that because she got pregnant. So it's unfortunate that happened, and she never came back and never got back into it. But she did message me, and later on in life, it was years down the road, and said that she wanted to get back into it and stuff. But I never heard anything after that. But I think once MMA gets in your blood, and you can face your fears and have the courage to stand tall and do the tough shit that fighters have to do, it really turns you into a new person, and you kind of miss that when you get away from it. So I miss it every day. I miss the challenges and stuff, but it definitely built me to be a person that actually looks for challenge.
right.
I
Well-
look for challenges throughout life, in my everyday life, at work, after work. I'm a competitor at heart, so I actually look for competition in everything I do.
Right. But there comes a time when you've got to spread it out in other avenues too.
Yeah,
Like you can't, like that is not a sustainable long-term career. And I don't think a lot of people that get into that realize that your odds of ever doing anything outside the local circuit is slim and none.
yeah,
And I think people get into it because they think it's this glorious thing, not so much the competition. But I mean, you've seen it. People who think they're going to be the next MMA star or whatever and have 2-3 fights and then you never see them again.
yeah. Once you get in there and you start doing it, if you're not promoting yourself, you're not doing it right. I was one of the ones that actually did everything necessary to build my name and make me the best fighter possible, not only in the cage, but also promoting myself, trying to get sponsors, trying to get help for all the gear, and just get the most out of it.
You were too. I remember you coming over to the house and you had that dope ass mouth guard that you got
Yeah, I
that
actually,
dentist hooked you up with, dude.
yes,
That thing was sick.
my dentist, he was so awesome, Dr. Lee out of Elkhart. He was my,
Remembers his name.
yeah.
Yeah, got a free mouth guard.
I can't remember name for nothing.
Yeah, name.
I'm horrible. But he made me 2 mouth guards. He made me he made me 3. He made me 2 boxing mouth guards, and then he made me a jiu-jitsu one that was super thin and super flimsy. But yeah, I got lucky. I just put my name out there anywhere I went. If I had a chance to talk about it, I did, because it was my passion. And then once I started talking about it, I had something to talk about after I had a few fights and a couple sponsors. It was something I could talk about. And if you got those things to brag about, bring up, or whatever, then it leads to other things. Once you get your first sponsor and a few fights under your belt, and you're selling yourself, people want to jump on board, especially if you got a good positive outlook on life and you carry a positive personality.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and you had some big fights, man. That I recall the Ricky Miller fight where you blew your knee?
Ricky Miller, Mike Junk.
Yeah.
I fought all the toughest guys at 170. I beat some of them and I lost some of them, but
That's how she
hey,
goes.
it's how it goes, and I'm proud of my career. And you know what? I am where I am because of MMA. And you win some and you lose some, and it humbles you too. So
Wouldn't trade any of the experiences for anything.
no,
No, that's how it goes. Like I said, I've had nothing negative from any of it. Like all the training and all the people I've met, like it's just all been great.
So the difference between MMA and everything else in life, like when you walk into an MMA gym, you got the toughest guys and the toughest girls in there. And when you walk in, you're actually doing fist bumps, you're doing man hugs, and the camaraderie, the respect that you have for each other and your team. It's like no other. When you walk into work, you're with them 5 days out of the week, 40 hours a week at least, very minimum, and maybe years that you're working with these people, and people sneak, they snake, they hate, they do everything to bring you down, to climb the ladder, and it's bullshit. And the thing that's missing is
Simulated murder. That's what's missing is simulated murder. You let a motherfucker know, hey, if this was real, that this could be it. Like I could end you today. You can't really do that with Sean from fucking HR. I mean,
but the good thing is I use my teamwork building skills that I've learned throughout life using MMA and all the other sports. I've did all kinds of sports, and I utilize that in my everyday life. And I try to create teamwork and a positive atmosphere everywhere I go because I hate drama. I hate it. I hate sneaks. I hate snakes. I hate fucking hatred. Y'all bitches can stay the fuck home and hate on your own family. Teach them bitches how to be little bitches. Keep that shit at home. Don't bring it to work, please. God damn it. Your boy downtown is begging. I don't want the motherfucking drama.
ladies and gentlemen, downtown Jeremy Brown.